I think we're about ready to start the sort of quasi-formal. It doesn't really get formal until Gordon Gee comes here with his bow tie. And anytime between now and midnight, we expect him. So I hope you have enough in your glass to keep you busy. Well, again, good afternoon. I'm William Brustein. I'm the Vice Provost for Global Strategies and International Affairs and the MC of this event. And I'm a Fulbrighter. You know, I thought about saying, it's like, doesn't it strike you like the people at the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, saying, you know, I'm an alcoholic. Oh, sorry, there's children in the room. No, but I'm a Fulbrighter, and I'm really, proud to be a Fulbrighter. In fact, I had a research Fulbright back in 1989. And on many dimensions, I can't think of a more valuable experience for me. In 1989, research, being in Berlin, Germany, when the wall was coming down. In fact, our youngest, Maximilian, named Maximilian, was born during the Fulbright. So if you can get a child born and get research done, that's a real good twofer. But again, it was a very valuable experience for me. And this week, as you well know, we're celebrating and promoting Fulbright and Fulbright-Hays. This whole week has been dedicated, it's a celebration of our faculty, of our students who have received Fulbrights, or been involved with the Fulbright-Hays, and those who are even thinking, and we want to encourage more and more of our faculty and our students to think about Fulbright and Fulbright-Hays. And on that, let me just, a little caveat here, a side note, but a very important one, and that is that, as many of you know as well, a number of these programs, particularly Fulbright-Hays, are now under the gun in Washington. In this most recent budget resolution for annual year 2011, the cut is 40% for our Title VI and Fulbright-Hays programs, and that's in the U.S. Department of Education. And that's a real sharp knife, and it doesn't look much better for AY12. And so I want to encourage you here to, wherever you are, if you're at a cocktail party, or if you're visiting with your congressperson, or you're talking to folks, please, the importance of programs like the Fulbright-Hays, Title VI with the critical languages and area studies programs, and as they address such things as our nation's competitiveness, national security, and creating global citizens, we really need to keep the word up, and that it's got to be more than the word. And part of people in leadership, it's got to be action, and we need to have that funding restored. So just a little pitch here for a number of these programs. But again, we're here to celebrate the Fulbright and Fulbright-Hays, and to do that, I'd like to begin with a video here, and what we're going to hear from four Fulbrighters, and let me just say a little bit about them before we start rolling the film. First, Amy Cohen from the Morris College of Law, who's a Fulbright Scholar, will be presented here. Alexander Alexandrov-Kotsev from Bulgaria, who is one of our visiting Fulbright Scholars, will be featured. Also, Adrian Strong, an undergraduate student in biomedical sciences, who is one of our Fulbright undergraduate recipients. And Matthew Curtis, a PhD candidate in the Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures, is a recipient of a Fulbright-Hays doctoral dissertation grant. So they're going to be featured in this video. And wonderful, wonderful. And I was wondering, is Alexander here? Yes. Raise your hand, Alexander. Alexander, I'm thinking, Alexander being in, Bulgaria, and you mentioning the University of Sofia. I don't know how many of you have ever traveled to Bulgaria or to Sofia, but, one thing that struck me when I was there in Alexandria, I'm sure you understand this well and many others in the room, is that when you talk about different cultures and religions getting together, the fact that right in one square area of Sofia, the capital, you have a mosque, an Orthodox church, and a synagogue that have coexisted together peacefully for centuries. I think there's a lot we can learn from that example, and it certainly impressed me. And so, again, those are things you find by being a Fulbrighter, by having the experience of studying, researching, living abroad. But with that, let me spend a moment just to thank a number of people here who play such critical roles in the success of our involvement as a university in the Fulbright and Fulbright-Hays programs. And just raise your hand as I mention your name, because I really want people to know who you are and what you do. Dr. Elliot Slotnick and Bobby Davis-Jones. Yeah, great. And Elliot and Bobby are important in the graduate school, and they administer the Fulbright program for graduate students. Dr. Brian Weiner and Dana Kuchum in the Honors Collegium. And they play such instrumental roles for the Fulbright program for undergraduate students and graduating seniors. Karina Hansen in the Office of International Affairs. Karina, are you here? No. But I'm going to thank you anyways. And again, she works with the Fulbright Scholars. And then our own Joanna Kukika-Blazer. Joanna. And you know our, besides I call her Miss MOA, MOU. Joanna works in the Office of International Affairs, helps administer both Fulbright-Hays and Fulbright Scholars Program. And then I'd like to, just a word of thanks also to someone who doesn't get enough credit for what he does, and that's our great videographer and photographer here, Victor Van Luken. And Victor was responsible for these wonderful video reflections of our students. And Victor, again, thank you for all of that. And I'll probably see you 3 or 4 more times this week when you come into President Gee's office and we have a visiting dignitary, and you're always there, those great photo shoots. So thank you very much. Is Gordon Gee here yet? No, okay. So, again, you know Gordon. He can pop in any moment. So please continue to enjoy your conversation, your drinks, food, and hopefully within the next 15-20 minutes, Dr. Gee will appear. But again, thank you very much, and continue again to promote Fulbright and Fulbright-Hays. Thank you. I'd like to present to you, you all know who he is, our wonderful president, E. Gordon Gee. Gordon?
But I do apologize for being a few minutes late, but I don't apologize for all of you. Because what we're celebrating today is Fulbrights. We're celebrating the fact that we have folks who come from all over the world to be here with us. And I like to think about Ohio State as sort of this place where the world comes to Ohio State, and then we send people out to the world. And that's precisely what we're doing. So for those of you who have come and joined us and are part of our Fulbright family here, I want to welcome you, I want to thank you, I want to tell you that you've made an enormous difference. This is an institution that believes in its global mission and simply does not believe in it, but acts on it in every possible way. We have large populations of international students who are here. We have large populations of our students and faculty who go to other places, and we have large numbers of our alumni, the largest alumni organization in the world, 507,000 alumni who find themselves all the way around the world. So today, what we're about, hey, don't you like that? Yes. And wherever you are, you can't escape us. You are now us, as a matter of fact. And I tell the story about the fact that I was in the Peninsula Hotel in Beijing, China, a while ago, and I'm walking across this big hotel, and all of a sudden someone screams to me in the middle of this hotel, OH! and I did IO, and of course the Uzis came out, they thought I was a terrorist. I have no idea. Anyway, the point being is the fact that that all of you represent not only the university yourselves, but you also represent what I think is the new world, and that is the fact that it's about partnerships, it's about us lowering barriers, it's about us making certain that we have an opportunity wherever we find ourselves to make a difference in the world, and it's about this university being part of that. To those of you who are fairly new to Ohio State, understand that we're a nearly unique American institution. We are a great research university, of which we are one of the most powerful in this nation. We create more ideas than almost anyone. But we also are a great land-grant university, and that tradition was started in the height of the Civil War by Abraham Lincoln, our great president, who said that he really wanted to create universities that cared about communities, cared about families, cared about opportunities, not simply in this country, but internationally. Think about that in the height of a time when our country was absolutely torn apart, that he could think about establishing those kind of universities. So Ohio State is a great research university, but with that name Ohio State, it also is a great land-grant university. And I tell everyone that we are Michigan and Michigan State combined. We're Iowa and Iowa State combined. We're Indiana and Purdue combined, and we're better than all of those. And one of the reasons that we are better than all of those is because of all of you. And so today I celebrate our faculty and students who are going throughout the world and are bringing the message of Ohio State and intellectual life and liveliness and the world as we know it, but also to those of you who are now part of our family, who came here on Fulbrights and who are enjoying the opportunity to be at a great American university and making us, by your presence, a great international institution. And so today I again apologize for being late, but most importantly, you have lots of food. The only thing standing between you and food is me. So let's have a great day.